In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace your fender liner. I'm showing you on the driver's side front. The same thing applies to the passenger's front. This will apply to the 08 to 2010 Ford F-250. There are several 5.5mm screws along the fender flare that hold the fender liner in place. Go ahead and remove all of them. Now I have this fender flare here that someone added. If you don't have it, you will still have the 5.5mm screws that go around. They're just going to be clamped onto the fender, not to the fender flare. Now go ahead and remove the fender flare, take it out of your way, and if you didn't have it, the same holes would apply and you would just have the screws go right into the fender. Now you have a push clip at the back of the fender liner. It has a Phillips head cutout, and most likely it's not going to allow you to unscrew it. So this is why I have this trim tool here. I'm prying down on it as I'm unscrewing it, because a lot of times these plastic threads will not really do much. So if you help it out, it'll come out, but just unscrewing it won't. Now that you have this out, you can pull out the center and then use your trim tool to pop out the rest of it. And there we go. Save it, because we'll need it for the new one, unless yours is broken, in which case you'll need to find a new one. Now at the front of the fender liner, you have two 8mm bolts. Go ahead and remove both of those. Perfect. Now you have two more 8mm bolts holding it up. One is over here at the back. I'm going to take this one out first. And now go ahead and take out the last one. I left this one for last because I want to be able to support the whole fender liner as this one comes out. Go ahead and grab it, pull it back. You're going to want to unwedge it from the fender here. There it is. Now we have to take these clips and transfer them over to the new fender liner. The way to do this is to take a pocket screwdriver, pry it out, pry the center of the bottom down, and that's because there's a tab in here bent upwards and it prevents it from sliding out. Okay. As you pry this down, try to slide it out from the fender liner. Okay, so this is basically what we were fighting. If you can see, that little piece in there clamps down and it won't let you slide it out. But now that we have it out, you can take it, put it on the new one, make sure it goes on with the part that hooks onto the threads upwards, press it in, should snap into the mounting hole just like that, and now you just do the same to all the other ones. Now that I've transferred all the other clips, make sure they're properly positioned. And of course, if yours are in poor condition and are rotting out, consider replacing them so that everything can be nicely secured. At this point, we can bring the fender liner straight up and just try to line it up with where it's supposed to go. Now, the first thing I want to do is actually tuck it in behind the fender here, because that'll be the most difficult thing to do if you don't do it now. Once it lines up, I'm going to want to attach this center bolt here, because as you can see, it keeps wanting to fall down. This one will hold it in place nicely. I don't want to tighten it all the way because I do still need this to move around so I can position and line up all the other holes, but I want it supported here so it doesn't fall. Go ahead and start this in. Don't tighten it up all the way yet though. Okay, right there it can still move, but it's holding it in place. That's exactly what I want. Now let's just line up the other ones. So we'll go to the back here, line up that one at the back. Okay, snug this one up now that these are lined up. Okay, we'll come back to this one, we'll tighten it, and if needed, we'll re-loosen. Now let's get the fender flare back on, and I want to get this on because it'll be easier to line these screws up now as opposed to later once everything else is bolted on tight. I want this to be able to move a little bit. And I also cleaned out the dirt here, that way it doesn't scratch the paint. So I'm going to start with this screw over here. It's the most centered one, and it's going to hold it up the best. Okay, that's one. Let's get the front one on. And now this one towards the back. Make sure you push your fender flare in if you have one. And last one. Perfect. Now let's put the front 2 bolts in, the 8mm ones. Snug them up. Now let's put in the push clip at the back here. Lock it in. And there you have it.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.